Welcome to the Political Matrix News. Politics, people, local, regional, national news. Political Matrix News keeps you informed. We have the sources, we have the truth from inside the Political Matrix. Hey there, sports fans. The Political Matrix blogcast now at your service. Rob Milford here in Orlando, and I'm not sure which way it shows up on the screen, but to my screen, that's Greg Fink right there, or unless he's right here. What we see versus what you see
right
versus what
you,
we see. Oh, great. Okay, I'll take your word for that. Let's talk about
over here in Gainesville.
That's it. I'm hiding out down in Orlando.
Country.
No representative this week from the far-flung empire all the way protecting the western gates of the Sunshine State from all those people from Louisiana and Mississippi coming over to go to the beach. One of those things one of those things we pay attention to in Orlando are the tourist numbers. And it's sad but funny to me. We have 75 million people that visit Orlando every year. 75 million. We are the number one tourist destination in the world. That's more than Paris, more than London, New York, Los Angeles. We are number one by a lot. That's why we have this huge airport here that handles 50 million people a year. I think this year I've already been 4 of those 50 million. But I guess where I want to go is, and the governor does pick on us, and he picked a fight with Disney. Apparently, all of that crap is now settled. They announced it the other day, and I think everybody they have returned to status quo ante, which is everything is pretty much the same as it was before Disney said we're going to do everything we can to overturn this law. What became the Don't Say Gay bill, which of course never said gay at all.
Never said gay anywhere in
it. And the public agrees with Ron DeSantis. Now, how do we know that? There is a new poll out that shows Ron DeSantis still has a 51% approval margin, but he has a 44% disapproval margin. And it's a 51 and 44. That makes 96. So that means 4% don't have any opinion of Ron DeSantis at all. But I think it's interesting. But see, the headline, and this is where you talk about the liberal media bias. They took the headline, DeSantis ranked 1, 2, 3rd in the country with the disfavorable, with the we don't like what he's doing. And the other 2 governors were the governor of, let me think, Oregon, if that's one. And who was the other chucklehead?
Looks like here the other one was out of Iowa. Yeah,
Iowa.
Cameron out of Iowa.
Who freaking cares? We talked about this in the primary season. Yeah, there are more people. There are more people, residents. You take Tampa, St. Pete, over to Orlando, those 2 metro areas. There are more people there than there are in the entire state of Iowa. Oh, and throw in New Hampshire too. So these 2 huge freaking primaries. More people, a more varied picture of America, by the way, because I'm sorry, you get to Iowa and it's corn-fed white people. And you get to New Hampshire, and it's maple syrup suckers who are the vast majority. The demographics of each state do not comport with American demographics in general. Who is black, who is brown, who is yellow, and whatever other colors they want to buy. I just go by the ribbon colors people put on their lapels for crap like that. So here we have, as I said, Orlando, Tampa, bigger than those 2 states, and somehow they rate. And I don't understand it, and it's really stupid.
I mean, there's a lot of scientific polling that goes into effect here with all of this. I mean, we do a lot of polls on our own with the listener group here and the Political Matrix. But I will say this: I mean, there's a big difference here. I mean, that you got this headline here. This is where the media bias is all about hypocrisy, which is what we talked about yesterday in our other podcasts that people can look up, and we talked about it last week. But so much hypocrisy with the media. And here it says DeSantis has one of the highest disapproval ratings, but he's polling over 51%. And so, I mean, the reality is you poll over 51%. The rest of the people are the opposite. I mean, that's the way it works. I mean, the whole idea of how winning elections is getting 50% plus 1 vote. I mean, that's the way it works in majority elections like that. And most elections are won by pluralities. And like you said, there's more people here in the Florida corridor than there are in Iowa and Oregon probably combined. And so, it's just ridiculous here. I mean, how they just keep on taking. I mean, I'm not a big Ron DeSantis fan by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a fan of the truth, a fan of honesty. And that's where integrity in media really needs to come back into play, which has not been in play in a very, very long time.
Okay, I will grant you all of that. Again, the way they showed that headline, it's like, oh, and it ran on Drudge just that way, just that way.
The Drudge used to be on it.
Yeah, used to be, and I think that he's fallen in
I don't think he is. But I mean, it's all clickbait. I mean, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for something to clickbait, a good headline, like, "Hey, you know, we got this here negative stuff," and maybe, I mean, I'm assuming I'm gonna give them a benefit of the doubt. It's not out of malice. They all just hate, you know, one person over the other. But I do think that they're just trying to find, you know, ways to get more ratings and more clicks, and basically negative energy does work a lot better and positive. People see Pollyannas and, you know, butterflies and rainbows, and they just keep going by it. People see a train wreck, they'll see what the hell's going on with that train wreck. Like,
good night from Orlando. Say good night, Greg.
Good night from Gainesville. Good night, Rob. Y'all have a good evening.
You as well.